Thanks for tuning in to the Vintage Cinema Review. On this week's episode, we're covering from 1990, Home Alone.
Yeah, starring Macaulay Culkin, who took Vincent van Gogh's The Scream painting just a little too far.
Yeah, instead of decking the halls with tinsel and holly, it's more like booby traps.
Yeah, we got a special guest here, Cory. What's going on, Cory?
Nothing, just excited to be here.
Yeah, so he's here for the review, one of his favorite movies. So we hope you enjoy it. Speaking of which, if you are, leave that 5-star rating on Spotify, on Apple. You can leave a written review. Sit back, relax, and enjoy Home Alone.
And keep the change, you filthy animal.
Hey, this is Dave,
Matt,
And Zap.
and welcome to the Vintage Cinema Review.
where every week we review some of our favorite films from the past.
Hey, there ain't no late fees here.
Silence is golden. And be kind. Rewind.
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's going on?
Hey, long time no see.
Yeah.
Hey, we're back here in the basement. It looks like we got a special guest in here tonight.
We got a special cellar dweller this evening.
Yeah, my brother-in-law Cory's in the house. What's going on, Cory?
Nothing, guys. Thanks for having me. Honored to be on the ODB podcast.
Yeah, when this movie came up, you're the first one I thought of. Just because like, this guy quotes movies like nobody I've ever
seen,
heard,
like,
other than maybe Zap.
Upstairs, yeah, you were kicking some lines up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow useless information sticks in my head like that.
You'll fit in very fine down
You
there.
come to the right place.
Perfect.
For sure. So yeah, Cory, his family owns the Jackson House, and not because we're brother-in-laws, but to me, definitely the best sandwiches around. Probably the best sub I've ever had, best burger.
100%.
So yeah, everybody says the burgers, and it's like the subs is also very, very good.
I'm gonna leave the burger. It's a good burger, but I'm gonna go Mrs. Andreoli.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna go to 9th and Washington
Sharp provolone, man.
all day with the peppers on top.
Roasted red peppers, yep.
Every time, one of those two, and it's a struggle to decide
On a Philly roll.
Yeah.
on a Philly
Gotta
roll.
have the Philly roll.
Absolutely.
This pizza dough stuff around here is no
Yeah, that's not a sub.
No.
People don't know that.
No
around
way.
here. With it's just like the rolled dough they're in like the little balls. You don't need that.
No,
Right.
I'm curious. I mean, you guys been around for years, decades. The rolls, that's a long-standing relationship, I'm guessing.
Yes.
So buddies of mine are in the biz. They go through the Baker's Exchange or something like that, where they can pick from 6 to a dozen different vendors, and it'll just come out to them however they order. But I mean, you've been direct for, again, forever.
Yep. Since I can remember. I mean, 41 years in November, actually, my dad had it. And he goes to what's called Philadelphia Bakery Merchants, where they go to different bakeries around Philly, take a whole bunch of orders in, drive it down to Harrisburg at like 6 a.m. and drop them off all over the place. So.
There it is.
So when do you get rid of, like, do you have any old ones? You probably go through so many
Usually
subs.
we sell out, but I do have day olds sometimes that I sell for, like, I put 4 in a bag for $1. People buy them. They make good garlic bread or croutons or something like that.
Yeah.
But they're still good.
I can speak to that. We had some before and did that, made, croutons and stuff out of it, or made garlic bread, like you said. My favorite is the New Yorker. I get New Yorker with bacon, but I love a Jackson burger.
Yeah,
Jackson
burger.
sauce is like top notch. Now I was going to Jackson House before I knew Cory like that, and I've loved it forever. Definitely, if you're in Harrisburg, you got to go to Jackson House.
6th and Boas.
I'll be the man taking your order.
Yeah, Cory will be out. You can,
Yeah,
hey,
he'll
I
be
heard you. I heard you on ODB podcast.
That's
Let
right.
him know. But Cory's here today because we're going to talk about Home Alone. So Home Alone, rated PG, hour and 43-minute runtime on this. Release date on this, November 10th, 1990 in Chicago, which makes sense because that's where it was takes place. And then worldwide, I should say, in the United States, released on November 16th, 1990. So right before Thanksgiving. I didn't even realize this. The music in this was done by John Williams, who, I don't know if you know that name, Star Wars.
Star Wars,
Yeah. So if you didn't know John Williams, he did Star Wars, and there was Indiana Jones.
Yep.
I mean,
The list goes on.
it goes on and on. Directed by Chris Columbus. This was written by John Hughes and produced by John Hughes. He comes up a lot in the basement. I feel like we've done
Like pretty much every
all his movies.
every John
Yeah.
Hughes movie.
budget on this. 18 million. Box office, 476.7 million.
God damn.
Killing them.
That's a lot.
What you said, like, too, like United States, worldwide too. This thing was like nuts.
Prestige worldwide.
And they didn't expect it. That's what the crazy part was. They're like, oh, it'll be a nice little holiday movie. It's a lot of Jackson burgers.
That's a lot of J burgers for sure.
So
is that the cool, like, is that what you call them then? Like if I go and order a J burger?
You can order it that way. When I communicate with my dad who's making them, I say this one's a J burger.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use that.
That's the slang. Yeah.
Inside lingo, inside baseball.
Yeah,
That's it.
Like that.
Inside baseball.
So filming dates on this, February 14th, 1990 through May 14th, 1990. This was filmed primarily in Winnetka, Illinois, which is like a Chicago suburb. And they did some scenes at O'Hare International Airport. And actually the scene in France at that airport was actually in O'Hare. They just changed the sign out. I'm sure they didn't fly to France for that.
No.
That's how you make that big money.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it for the budget and all that fun stuff. I'll turn it over to Zap for the cast.
Sure. Now, this is a long one because there's a shit ton of cousins. For the cast, we've got Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McAllister, John Hurd as Peter McAllister, Kevin's father, Catherine O'Hara as Kate McAllister, Kevin's mother, Angela Goethals as Linny McAllister, Kevin's older sister, Hilary Wolf as Megan McAllister, Kevin's oldest sister, Michael Morona as Jeff McAllister, Kevin's older brother, Devin Rattray as Buzz McAllister, Kevin's oldest brother, Jerry Bannon as Uncle Frank McAllister.
Cheapskate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diana Campano as Sandra, Kevin's cousin. Kristen Minter as Heather McAllister, Kevin's cousin. Jedediah Cohen as Rod, Kevin's cousin.
Jedediah.
Yeah.
Jedediah.
What form did they find him on?
Senta Moses as Tracy, Kevin's cousin. Anna Slotke as Brooke, Kevin's cousin. Matt Doherty as Stefan, Kevin's cousin. Kieran Culkin as Fuller McAllister, Kevin's youngest cousin. Jeffrey Wiseman as Mitch Murphy. Joe Pesci as Harry. Daniel Stern as Marv. Roberts Blossom as Old Man Marley. John Candy as Gus Polinsky. Ralph Foodie as Johnny the Gangster. Michael Guido as Snakes the Gangster. And finally, Kenneth Hudson Campbell as Santa.
Wait, the guy's last name is Guido, and he plays a gangster.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Tell you what,
That's
I'm
just
gonna do,
typecasting.
snakes.
Why didn't he play like
great
Pesci's part? Like,
Yeah, right?
Fun fact, and I'll spit it out now.
Oh, cool. Yeah, fun facts.
Ralph Foodie, who played Johnny, get out of here, you filthy animal, and Michael Guido, the one Snakes who died, their roles were supposed to be flip-flopped.
Yep.
Snakes was supposed to be Johnny, and Johnny was supposed to be Snakes. However, Foodie, who played Johnny, he'd had knee surgery.
Yep. Bad knees or something.
Yeah,
like
and he
that.
was recovering from that, so he couldn't fall to the ground to act dead. So he played Johnny.
How about that?
And the rest is history.
There it is.
See, back then I thought that was an actual old school movie. I didn't even know that they actually shot that for Home Alone. Just as a kid.
Filthy. Yeah, that was a made up
Angels
movie they
with
made.
filthy souls.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the second one, it's angels with even filthier souls.
Yeah, because my dad would watch stuff like that on Turner Classic or whatever, and I'd just be like, that's my dad probably seen this movie. You know what I mean? But I guess that's it for the cast, so we'll turn it over to Matt for the brief synopsis.
All right, this is for everyone who has not seen Home Alone.
Well, it's 6 of you.
Oh, maybe even less. Maybe even less. I don't know. I don't want to give the whole movie away,
right?
but there's no way to not do that.
Is there spoilers in there?
Yeah. When Kevin's family left for vacation, they forgot one minor detail. Kevin.
Oh.
8-year-old Kevin McAllister has become the man of the house overnight. Accidentally left behind when his family rushes off on a Christmas vacation, Kevin gets busy decorating the house for the holidays. But he's not decking the halls with tinsel and holly. 2 bumbling burglars are trying to break in, and Kevin's rigging became a bewildering battery of booby traps to welcome them. The all-star supporting cast includes Catherine O'Hara and John Hurd as Kevin parents, Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern as the burglars, and John Candy as the polka king of the Midwest. Written and produced by John Hughes, Uncle Buck, the madcap slapstick adventure is one of the top 3 box office hits of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, Home Alone.
Nice. That was a good one.
It's interesting to hear the dating on that synopsis.
The dating.
What do you mean, like the dated itself, like the movie dates itself?
Correct. When you read, so that's from the back of a VHS cover.
Yeah,
To be
right.
absolutely clear. Now, with that, if that movie came out in 90, let's just pretend that the VHS that came out in 91.
Right.
So you're talking long time ago, 32 years. maybe back then it was one of the top 3 grossing movies of all time.
Not anymore.
That has since been surpassed, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Zap called them out liars.
Yeah.
They're all liars.
I wonder, well, at that time, we would probably say Star Wars, right? Home Alone. Then what do you think the third one is?
Indiana Jones.
That's a good guess. I don't know. What do you think, Cory?
Jaws?
Jaws?
Ooh, Jaws
That's
is
up there.
Wait a second. Do you know the answer?
I don't.
Oh, you're just
you're acting like it, man.
Dang.
No,
in
no,
the
man. I
wind
don't know.
That's a mailbag event.
it's a mailbag.
Send that in.
Real genius.
Real genius. I mean, it
Had
could have
to
been
be.
that. Yeah, that one's
It's a
up
great
there.
movie, though.
Either that or
great.
Better Off Dead.
Could have been.
John Hughes was not in either of those.
No. So, Cory, when's the first time you remember seeing this movie? And like, did you love it or
I
right off
used
the
to watch
bat?
it. Me and my brother used to watch it all the time when I was like 5 years old. And we just, and especially more the second one, because he liked the Walkman or the talk boy he had in the second one. But the first one I watched all the time, enough to know like pretty much every line.
Every
of it.
line
So I'd
of it.
probably say when I was about 5 years old.
So Corey's a little younger. Well, you know, what year were you born?
87.
87.
Good
So,
Lord.
God damn it.
young buck. So when this came out, you're like 3.
Corey's like 22.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh man, I wish.
So when this came out, you're like 3. So this is a couple years after. You probably caught it on the like VHS copy.
Yes,
or
we
whatever,
had the
watching it.
VHS. Watched it all the time.
Wore it out.
See, I was thinking about us here in the basement, the 3 of us, Dave and Zap. I don't remember like going to see this movie. I thought it was because I think. Do you?
I went twice to see this because I loved it.
Dear God.
Did you go with 2 different chicks?
Dude, I was going to
Yeah.
say
No,
that.
no,
The
no.
same one twice?
Yeah, I just thought the movie was great. Like I enjoyed it. I know it was in 9th grade, but I was like, this movie's like great. I
I
thought
mean,
it
it's
was
good. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Were
don't
you
know.
alone or did you take a chick?
no. I went with like a girl. I had a
Okay.
date. Like,
So you
like,
took
wanted
the
to go
same
see
date
this?
twice
I once saw it twice. Yeah,
with the same chick.
yeah.
All right.
Because it was just kind of like there was nothing else out. I don't know.
Man,
It was
you-
like I was this or Rocky 5. So I'm like,
Rocky 5.
Now, I'm not one to say anything because I mean I've been to the theater to see the same movie a couple of times too. I mean there's nothing wrong with that.
right. Now we went to see. I mean, we used to go to that same theater, East 5, over by the mall. And there's limited. You know, I know it says 5 theaters, but you know it'd be limited on what was out. Like when you're
Each
14.
theater is the size of this basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I was 14 at the time. Whatever. I mean, I think at just the time it was just like, let's go see that again. Like I enjoyed it. Like I know, looking back, it seems like maybe a little childish movie in some ways, but I thought I think, well, I don't want to foreshadow what I think about the movie, but I remember like thoroughly enjoying it.
I know I did not see this in the theaters.
No, nor did I.
No.
I know.
I've seen commercials. I remember commercials and things for it. You definitely didn't.
No.
You were 30 years old.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does it make it better? I was on a date. Is that in?
No.
Dude, it's Cool in the Gang. It's Cool in the Gang. So
No, but I
Yeah, this would not even be in my rotation of date movies.
no. What would you go see? Like with a chick? Like what kind of movie? Like I know Dances with Wolves was
Dances
big
with Wolves.
because of how long it was. So you could like, because that was your chance to go, make out or do whatever.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
get like a 4-hour movie.
Actually, I remember a group went to see Dances with Wolves. You were there, weren't
I
you?
went, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you were in
another
there. The Ice Ice Baby movie, that was
Yeah,
a big
Cool
one.
as Ice.
Yeah, Cool as Ice.
did we see Dances with Wolves at the Eric on Derry Street?
On the Eric on Derry.
The Eric Theater right there by PetSmart. Right?
Oh no,
Yes,
yeah. No, was that at the 5? Or were you there? Did you go there? I think there was a group of like 30 people that went one night.
I remember seeing Zap at a theater, and you were seeing Free Willy or something. You made a joke about freeing Willy.
What?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say he was like made you your popcorn. He's working.
No,
Man, you guys going to the theater again?
No, I remember
No.
I was on a date with the other girlfriend I had,
Yeah.
and you were coming out of a theater,
Oh.
and something about freeing Willy. It was at the Colonial Commons, I believe, theater,
possible.
or out that way. But this movie I definitely saw in the theater, and I liked it.
Somebody better get their fishnets because I'm about
But
to
you
free
had to
Willy.
get dropped off to that though.
For Free Willy, you talking
No,
about
not
that?
I totally cried during Free Willy when I was a little
That was a
kid,
good
just so
one.
you know.
For Home Alone, I
Yeah.
was 14. Yeah,
Yeah, I was
got
saying,
dropped
your
off.
parents or her parents dropped you off.
Yeah, my
I
parents.
forget, like
dropped-
14. What was?
I might have walked there.
You could have, yeah.
Look, I'll crush this all right now just to make you feel better. All right.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
So 1990, that movie, or this movie, Home Alone, was the #1 grossing movie domestically,
Yep.
worldwide.
And
Do-
I
do
paid
you know what
400
the-
million of it. was
Do you
me.
know what the #1 grossing movie of 1991 was? I'm sorry, 1990 of the whole ball, the whole marble, dude.
1990?
Yeah.
That wasn't it? Home
No.
Alone wasn't it?
It was Ghost.
Oh, for real?
Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, you can't mess with Swayze, man.
Now, fun fact, I went to see that movie. I had no idea what it was about. We had some time on our hands. I went to
Right.
see that movie with Jeremy Thomas.
Oh, for real?
Swear to God.
You're a romantic.
Did you reenact
Dude, had no idea it was a stupid ass love story. Had no idea.
Right.
I mean, going to see Whoopi Goldberg. I mean, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, had no idea.
Yeah.
Walked out of there like John Candy and Steve Martin in
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah, that was
football.
good
Bears.
game, huh?
Yeah, that was a good team this year.
Yeah.
How about the Bears? Yeah.
Leave a seat in between you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Can we share popcorn?
I get that though. That was like the Elk Theater in Middletown. You would just go. Whatever was playing was playing. You
Of
just want to
course.
get out of the
You just
house on
went
a
to
Friday
get
or
it,
Saturday, and you meet some friends out. I get it. Yeah, I didn't think you. I would have thought you saw it after.
Yeah, I know.
I think I saw it sometime after high school. So it had to have been.
Oh, for real?
And I remember when my oldest daughter was like into movies, I remember we would watch it like every Christmas. That's where it really, because you just see it over and over and over again.
And took off after that. Yeah.
Do they have that yet? 24 hours of Home Alone yet? Or?
In Poland, I know that.
Oh, that's nice.
That'll come on the fun fact.
Fun fact, everyone.
Yeah.
We were premature, but
They have already
premature.
done 24 hours of Elf. I know that. They've done
Christmas Story.
Well, I mean, so I'm saying already this year.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just Thanksgiving weekend.
I didn't even know that.
So they did 24 hours of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. They did 24 hours of Elf. They had a Harry Potter marathon that lasted 4 fucking days. And that was
Star Wars
3 movies.
Yeah.
Star Wars just went. They had all the Star Wars in order. They played that over and over
They
again.
played the Lord of the Rings on rotation.
Lord of the Rings was on rotation.
They played Back
yeah.
to the Futures in rotation. I mean, yeah.
So I guess we'll steer our audience through the movie and talk a little bit about it.
Let's dive into Home Alone.
Let's brush some broad strokes and just talk in betwixt. So, the night before, the McAllisters and their extended family are set to travel to Paris for Christmas. Kevin, the youngest of the residents at the house, is forced to endure seemingly constant torment from his entire family. After being sent to the attic bedroom as punishment for fighting with his older brother, Buzz, Kevin curses his entire family's existence and wishes they would all just disappear. The next morning, Kevin's wish comes true, as he's left behind while his family makes their way to Paris without him.
I made my family disappear.
Yeah. It was his dream at the
McAllisters,
time.
they're all full of white privilege.
Yeah, right.
Like these kids, come on.
There's a foreshadow of that. So, I mean, like Kevin's running around the house, right? Like, the house is teeming. I mean, I named them. There's like a dozen cousins.
25 some people in the house. Crazy.
Yeah, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah, right?
Doesn't Pesci make a joke about it being
All kids, no parents.
like an orphanage or
Probably
something?
fancy orphanage.
Yeah, that's it.
This ain't it.
Dude, nailed it. Absolutely.
Quick fun fact into that. They were saying that Joe Pesci, he was like cussing this whole because he was like trying to say these lines and he was so used to the characters
dropping
that
the
he played.
F-bomb.
Yeah, so they kept on saying, "Look, man, you got to." He's like, "Yeah, these fucking kids in here." Yeah. And they're like, "No, Joe, like it's a kids
you
movie.
gotta, like, mellow out."
Yeah, you got to mellow out." He's ready to like shoot people.
And then Mr. McAllister said, "Go get your fucking shine box."
Get your shine.
I'll shoot you. What fucking
Yeah, right, yeah.
Close the fucking door.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, no.
I'll be back. I'll be back. Just keep him here. So Kevin actually foreshadows that when he's, again, all these goddamn kids are running around and nobody's paying attention to him, or they're pushing him around, or they're doing whatever.
Or they're eating his pizza.
Yeah. And he says,
The plane, yeah.
when I grow up and
Jeez.
get married, I'm living alone. What?
Yeah.
Living alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, lo and behold, he just knew it was coming.
What do you think in the title, The Home Alone? Did you notice the E is lowercase?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's, to me, as I see that, you see all of these capital letters and then you see just the little e. You also have all of these
Adults.
adults and or more important people than Kevin, and then you just have
little
little
e.
old Kevin hanging
All
out.
right, there you go. I was thinking about that, looking at the title. I'm like, what's with the lowercase e? That makes sense. Yeah.
So
But for real, they bought how many pizzas and had one cheese pizza,
12
knowing
of them.
he likes pizza?
Yeah, 12 of
12
them.
pizzas? Oh, good, because somebody owes me $122.50.
Was it 12 or was it 10?
I think it was
No, it was
12.
10 pizzas for
10.
$12 a piece.
Oh, there it
12
is.
bucks a piece.
Okay, yeah.
Total cost of the pizza was $122.50.
That's it. Yeah,
that again goes to like nobody wanted to pay for it. Mr. McAllister,
Yeah.
money bags, whatever he did. Like I think there's a comedian that does jokes about it.
Yeah, living in that house and
Yeah, paying for everybody to go to Paris for Christmas.
True.
But yeah, like the most pizzas I remember, like my dad getting. If I had like a birthday party, there'd be like 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And then when they're gone, they're gone.
gone,
Yeah,
yeah.
and like some chips.
Domino's too. None of that.
Yeah, none of that fancy stuff.
No.
Little Neros.
Yeah, ain't no little Neros.
Little Neros. So even then, so we're talking 1990. $12 a pie. That's an expensive pizza, man.
Chicago, man.
Yeah.
But these were just flat hand tossed pizzas. This wasn't deep dish.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. Maybe the cost of living in Chicago was that high, but damn, $19.90, $12?
Maybe he marked it up because of the house.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's baller house.
It, you know
Speaking of that house, so I got a very long dear friend of mine, his house.
I thought you said just bought that house.
I got no problem telling you.
Shit.
He's relatively wealthy. His house, mirror image of the Home Alone house.
Around here?
Yeah.
West Shore.
It is an incredible house. And you just, as soon as you drive up to it, yep, I bet I could see Macaulay Culkin from here.
So your friend lives at Wegmans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that brother Buzz, I never really thought about till watching it. He kind of reminds me of Biff from
absolutely.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
That villain.
Is it true that French babes don't shave their pits
Yeah. But they got nude beaches.
Yeah.
in the winter?
Not in the wintertime, yeah.
I hate how Kevin was like the bully in the family. He's like all prickish.
Yeah, right.
Like spilling shit.
Spoiled little rotten kid. Like,
Yeah.
Did you notice when the milk spilled and they were wiping stuff in the trash? Did you see his
his
ticket?
dad threw his ticket away.
Yeah,
Yep.
his ticket was in there. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of point at that too.
So nowadays with that, what's that show on HBO?
What's the section?
Thank you.
Succession.
His brother,
yeah.
Kieran.
With Succession, Kieran, to see Kieran as that little baby.
Oh, Culkin, yeah.
Did he do anything in
He was
between?
also in Waco on Netflix.
Okay.
Whoever
seen
watched
that.
that, he was one of the dudes in that.
Was that
Was it Waco with the David Koresh?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Koresh thing.
Uh-huh.
Was he one of the?
He was one of the kids, like one of the outsiders that went to live there.
Okay,
And then he
okay.
started to like this girl, and then he kind of like wanted to stay, but he didn't want to stay. That was him.
Oh,
But his character in that Succession is pretty cool.
It's weird. The dialogue in that show is just weird. Like they think really quickly, or you're led to believe that they think on the fly just so quickly. But I mean, hats off to them. They have to memorize a lot of dialogue to get all of that out in that show. If you're familiar,
But I
If
think
you're
they try
not,
to do.
give it a shot.
They try to do like billionaire speak too. They
Sure.
they use words and stuff that if you're like
That's what-
that,
yes.
you're like, what the hell's he talking
Yeah,
about?
what?
Yeah.
When Buzz told Kevin and the other cousin the story about Old Man Marley, the notorious shovel slayer, did he do that on the fly, or was that just because you hear it later? Like, oh, you might have heard a lot of stories about him. He says the Marley dude.
Yeah.
Is that the whole neighborhood talking, or is that just Buzz messing with him?
I think it's the whole neighborhood because he just was like, check it out, Old Man Marley. And then they go to the window and he tells them the story. And like, and then the church later, he's like, there's a lot of rumors going around about me. I think it's like the whole town, I think.
right.
Okay, all right.
It's like the
That's how I
the
always
witch
took
lady
it.
at the corner house on the street or something.
Like he can fit 6 bodies in that little trash can he's got.
Right.
The salt
Because the
tree.
salt,
Yeah,
the
the
salt
bodies
eats
into
them,
mummies.
So that neighborhood kid, I should say the neighborhood kid is played by Jeffrey Wiseman. That kid is from one of my particular favorite movies, Overboard.
You talking about the kid that
original?
came over and when they were counting them?
Correct.
Like,
Yeah,
vans get
yeah.
good gas mileage.
Yeah, that's right. The
Gee,
kid
kid,
that's
I don't know, hit
busting
the
the
road.
balls of the van driver. That's right. All he's doing is asking him a million questions. Yeah, that kid. He was the one of the sons in Overboard, the OG, not the fucking new one, but the OG.
Right.
He talked like Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, okay.
He was, a member of the gruesome ghouls and whatever.
Right. He was initially I think he was going for the part of Kevin in that too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh.
But they already kind of had Macaulay Culkin in mind for this.
Was Mac in anything else before this?
Yeah, Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was younger in that, Uncle Buck. And
Was he
then-
in the one where he got like stung by the bees and died? Was
Oh,
that My Girl? Was he in that yet?
I don't
That
know
was
how old-
later.
Yeah.
That was later. Okay.
And then the
his
Good Son
glasses.
was later, I think, too.
He can't see without his
He
glasses.
should have
Yeah, right.
won an Oscar for that.
So, fun fact: I have never seen either of those two movies.
Oh, for real?
I've never seen My Girl. I've never seen Uncle Buck.
How'd you know about the damn glasses?
My wife has said that quote about 100 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to see
You have
Uncle
to see
Buck.
that.
Okay.
John
yeah.
Candy is the man.
Oh, yeah,
That
it's cool.
legend. Legend.
All right.
Also in this too, I guess he was the only one. I guess I don't know if it's a fun fact or not, but he's the only one that they didn't give any kind of script
Straight
to.
ad lib.
Yeah,
The king.
he did the
Absolute
whole shit
king.
on his own.
He is the king. All right. Back on track here. For a while, everything is as Kevin had hoped. The whole house and its contents are his to enjoy. But after an attempted burglary of the house by the Wet Bandits and a run-in with Old Man Marley, Kevin realizes his fears and vulnerabilities. Meanwhile, Kevin's mom discovered his absence mid-flight and is now frantic to reach her son.
Kevin.
And while the Wet Bandits are burglarizing a neighborhood home, they learn that Kevin's family has, in fact, traveled to Paris.
First class they were in.
Yeah. That's
Stuck the kids in
What does
coach.
that guy do?
the bandits
right.
learn that from when they're ripping off the house. They hear the
The answering machine. He
yeah.
calls the Murphys and says, "Hey, we're in Paris. Let me give you the number here."
Yeah.
That scene to that, fun fact, was actually filmed in a pool, in a high school pool. They built the.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, okay.
It's pretty neat. I thought that was kind of cool.
yeah.
Can we just talk about how inept the cops are in this movie?
Oh yeah. They
Oh
don't
my
even give
God.
it-
Like, you want us to go to your house just to check on him? Yeah.
He's 8.
See, that's what I
In
wrote
second
down.
grade.
The movie should have been over after the
right.
cops are called. Like
There's
that's
no
it.
one home. The house looks secure.
I knocked
You got to suspend disbelief, I guess. You know.
I was just watching this last night and I was thinking the exact same thing. So a smart kid, or at least a kid that's taught well, is don't answer the door if we're not home. Just don't answer the goddamn door. In this case, it's a cop.
Yep.
I mean,
But he was worried about the cops already. In his defense, remember?
wouldn't there be something like anything?
Well, wasn't that the scene right after they were trying to break in?
Yeah, he was worried about the cops,
Yep.
but the cop would have listened to the mom. The mom was going through the radio.
He
They would have
broke-
said,
broke
get in
in
the
or
house
something, yeah.
and get him. He was like, well, I don't know if he's left here. Everything's here, like you said, secure or whatever. Like the movie would have been over. There would have been like a all points bulletin out looking for this kid.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Like they would have shut down the airport. Like we need to find this kid. Yeah.
So you're right though about that of looking out for the cops, because earlier that day he had shoplifted a toothbrush.
Oh yeah.
Is
He's
this
a criminal?
ADA
Yes.
approved?
Yeah, he was.
the American Dental Association.
That's where they tried to meld it in and try to fix it in. Is like, oh, he's afraid of the cops. His cops, you know.
Oh, that's right, because they chased him.
And
yeah.
by
Yeah.
the way, the dude that works there, Jimmy's totally lost. Like, you couldn't catch a second grader, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I know,
right,
man.
right.
Come
give
on.
me a break, Jimmy. Come on, man.
You aren't from the city, bro.
Jimmy, stop that boy. Oh, I don't know. He's in second grade.
The cop too.
I've got this apron on.
The
Yeah,
cops.
right. Yeah, I got the apron on.
Yeah.
So Buzz's trunk of goodies, huh?
Playboys.
Playboys,
Wolf.
firecrackers that he'll save for later. When Kevin is shooting that gun at the little sports figurines, what is the name of those figurines? We had them as kids. It was
Yeah.
like All Sports or
Yeah, it
some
was-
kind of
I
All
noticed-
Pro or some shit.
Yeah, the one was a Larry Bird, one was
Larry
a Walter
Bird, yeah.
Payton. I couldn't make out the other two.
They were these figurines, and they were hugely collectible, and they were awesome, and everybody loved them. Late 80s, early 90s.
That was before McFarlane and all that. The real good ones.
The real good ones, like,
Like
yeah.
I have some McFarlane ones.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what they were called. Yeah, I know you're on the right track.
Everybody
with All
opened them right
Pro.
away too. They weren't like a collector's then. They are today.
Yeah.
But then
Right.
it was just something you like opened up and played with.
You're on the right track with Pro in the name.
I think it is all pro.
Like, yeah,
Yep.
All pro.
There it is, All Pro. Yep.
there you go.
That's the one.
All Pro figurines. Yeah, dude. I mean, damn, they had hundreds. Well, they had literally everybody on every team.
Well, there's definitely Larry Bird, Walter Payton. One guy looked like a Yankees guy.
Yeah, yeah.
So Cory's a
I
Yankees
didn't even
fan.
look into it like that much.
Who would have been like early '90s Yankee star?
Don Mattingly?
Don Mattingly.
Mattingly.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Mattingly.
It could have been a Mattingly.
Yeah.
What was the number? Was like 30 something.
I couldn't make out a number. I just could make out the uniform. It looked like a Yankees uniform. One was
It was
definitely.
like an old White Sox or something.
It could have been.
It was the Yankees.
Yeah.
I always wanted that BB gun when I was little.
Hell yeah.
I'd do anything for that BB
Dude,
gun.
hell yeah, man.
See, we did that. I don't know if you remember at the Colonel's grandma's house, like her basement. But he had a BB gun. We go down there and set those up and shoot things all the time down there.
Dude, all the time.
Couple Mickey's Big Mouths.
And now I'm left
and a BB gun.
Now I'm left to shooting squirrels in my backyard.
Did you notice the one officer's name was Sergeant Balzac?
Yeah, Sergeant Balzac.
I did.
Oh, he's the one that answers with the donuts.
Yeah.
Dropping it on the
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
receiver.
Sergeant Balzac.
Just reading the canned lines. Has a child been involved in a violent altercation with a member of his immediate family? Give me a break, dude.
And I also noticed that a brand I haven't heard in a while on the TV was Emerson.
Yeah.
TV,
I used to have an
electronics.
Emerson. when I
Yeah.
was
Oh
little.
yeah, I don't think they're around anymore. I haven't seen any.
They made stereos too.
Yeah, Emerson. They made all that stuff.
It's funny when you're talking about the Emerson or the stereos or the tellies or whatever. When Marv and Harry are sitting out in the van and they're talking about, yeah, man, you know, the reason why we came to this neighborhood, like I want that house. They're rattling off all the things that might be inside worth value. And Harry, the first thing he says, oh, they got stereos, VCRs.
Yep. I know. I'm
VCRs,
thinking, what?
What?
Betamax is out here.
Like, I guess they were that expensive back
They
then,
were
you know?
like $300,
Yeah,
$400
yeah, I think so.
And $300 back in the day was a lot of money.
Oh yeah, and it comes full circle now. They're expensive again sometimes.
They are. This is in this little segment here, this is our first glimpse of Angels with Filthy Souls.
Yes, I love that part.
So that the dude that played Snake, the guy that dies forever, and I mean up until, I swear to God, just yesterday, I thought that actor was Joe Isuzu.
Oh, for real?
You remember Joe Isuzu, the commercial?
The guy, he would lie all the time.
Correct.
Yeah, this gets 140 miles per gallon. It's the best car ever. Yeah.
I thought that was
Isuzu
him.
commercial.
Yeah, I swear to God, I thought that was him.
Is it him? It looks like him.
No, it's dude Guido.
Oh, Guido.
Michael Guido. Who could have
What a
been
name.
Michael Guido. Hey, Paisan.
I love it. Speaking as a Guido, I love it.
Yeah. How about? Kevin, at the end of this here, he runs, he's almost run over by the wet bandits. And he's chased down and shit like that. He ends up hiding in the nativity scene. Like he's like, Mary or one of the wise men just hanging out with Jesus.
Right.
Like, come on. How couldn't you tell? And where did he get the blanket that quickly?
Yeah, he got the blanket and the shepherd staff.
Dude,
He's just sitting there.
come
Harry Marvel,
on.
like, I ain't going in there. Like showing Dracula.
They came up with that after they figured out the cops would have like done something different. So they're like, we'll just throw whatever. In there. Like, we don't give a shit. Just enjoy the movie.
It was a spare. All right. So that night, anticipating the wet bandits' return to his house, Kevin stages a party scene, temporarily throwing them off track. The next day, Christmas Eve, Kevin carries on with domestic duties and once again foils the bandits' efforts. Desperate to return to her son, Kevin's mom finds her way onto a flight to Scranton, PA, where she meets Gus Polinski, who, along with his polka band, offers her a ride to Chicago.
Yeah, the Polka Kings.
Polka.
You never heard that?
We had a couple hits. Anyway, I'm rambling on here.
That's the part that was improv, I think.
Yeah,
that part, he just kind of went off on. I had a question, though. Like, I didn't notice any accordions in that. Did you?
Nope.
In that part of polka music? I
think in the truck there is one.
Oh, is there one?
When they're sitting in the back of the truck, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you can be considered polka music without an accordion.
Not in
Sure.
Steelton.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think anywhere.
Definitely not in Steelton. Matt, what were you going to say?
Oh no, I was just talking about like that scene is iconic. They still use that in commercials and everything today with the
party scene?
Yeah, the party scene.
Oh,
Oh,
Michael
yeah.
Jordan
The
on
Michael
the
Jordan
Yes.
cutout,
On
yeah,
the- on
and the
the-
mannequins.
Yeah, it was pretty inventive for an 8-year-old to come out, or 9-year-old, whatever.
So I'm saying, hey, why wasn't this guy in Yale or some shit? Like this kid is like,
I'm thinking
like, come
about,
on, man.
dude. I think about again. I'm willing to go with suspended disbelief here. But me, if I had to do that at my house, dude, that would take me like 2 days at
right?
least.
to set it up.
Hell
Tying
yeah!
the strings and everything.
My God, yeah. Tying the strings, making sure the train's doing the thing right, laying the track out,
The turntable going.
Yeah.
making sure that when Michael Jordan's on top of the train, that Michael Jordan doesn't fall off of the train.
yeah, where'd he get that shit? Like, did he rob a Foot Locker or something like that?
I think Buzz had it.
Yeah,
in his
Buzz.
Oh, Buzz had it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're rich kids, so they get whatever they want.
True.
That's like having a fat head. Like, nobody had like a cardboard
right.
thing back then.
No, but those Jordan things his cutouts were big back then. I think I remember seeing them everywhere.
Where would you get that? I know they were like at stores, but I never knew of anybody having one in their house.
So you can actually buy shit, that's the Michael Jordan one. I was going to say a woman with whom I used to work years ago. She had cutouts of life-size things of Thor, Captain America, but she had gotten those, I think, from the theater.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, like when I guess that makes sense whenever they're
Maybe
done with a movie.
Maybe they did get them from Foot Locker because this was before the internets.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, with money like that, I'd be like, how much is one of the guys? Like, I
want three of them, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
give me whatever.
I mean,
I'll take
he
it.
spent 1983 at the store for milk, Tide, bread, like all that stuff. I'm like, damn, I'm jealous.
Yeah, the good old days.
geez, I know. Man. Jeez,
But anyway, too, like going to the Joe Pesci's character and the other guy, like you would see that like you're looking at it too, like that looks so cheesy.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't be like that's some fake shit, man.
Yeah.
Let's get
Right.
in there.
Yeah.
These guys are terrible.
the pizza guy came back with that single cheese pizza. That's all Kevin wanted, man. Give me my goddamn cheese pizza.
Yep.
Scared him off. He left him I guess the bill
20
was
cents.
Left him it was $11.80. That's right. It was $11.80, $12. Keep the change, you filthy animal. Like the timing was right on with that.
Oh, he's money. I can never do that with the remote control and
Oh,
stuff.
the time-
Imagine how good you'd have to be with the pausing and everything.
Oh my God.
On VHS.
On VHS.
Again,
Yeah.
yeah, you could never stop anything one time on that.
No.
And then it would be all
Yeah.
fuzzy. You couldn't even see it. Yeah.
He kept knocking that yard jockey over too every time he pulled
Dude,
the car.
Yes.
Okay, how many times was the yard jockey knocked over in total?
Let's see. Once by the pizza guy in the beginning, once by the air guys that come to pick him up, and then another time by the pizza guy.
Yeah, I counted 3 as
I'm
well.
gonna say 3. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
I counted 3. Damn, that
I don't think you see the guys from the airport knock it over. I think you see him just putting it back.
That's
up.
correct.
up,
Did you
yeah.
see him putting it back up? All right, so Polka 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 was the single. It was big in Sheboygan.
Yeah, it's big in Sheboygan. Yeah.
Huge in Sheboygan. What is all right? So
Where's Sheboygan is what? Wisconsin? Where's Sheboygan?
Sheboygan is Wisconsin.
Okay.
We are going to do one quick trivia question here with Cory. What is the name of Gus Polinski's band?
The Kenosha Kickers.
Well done, sir.
nice.
Well done.
I thought they were the Polka Quads.
5 points, Gryffindor. Well done.
The Polka Quads.
Yeah, the Polka Quads.
They're from around here, right?
Steelton.
Yeah.
Well, so I don't know if they're from Steelton, but I know for damn sure they play in Steelton.
They perform
Yeah,
down
the
there.
Polka
Picnic, I think.
Quads, the Happy Slovenes. Yeah.
They said the Bressler Picnic. That's like no, a polka band is not a polka band unless they play the Bressler.
Correct.
Bressler Picnic.
That's like the Red Rocks.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, we did it, Joey. We made it."
Yours truly played at a Bressler picnic once.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I got to
Damn.
sit in with the Happy Slovenes.
Oh, for
Legend.
real?
Yeah.
Nice. Is that plays the accordion?
To be clear, played.
Played.
Oh, no,
Played.
Okay. A little rusty.
Well, yeah, why,
nowadays.
don't hate on the accordion.
It's
I just saw
a massive
a
talent,
show,
bro. It
dude.
was-
The Bacon Brothers had a whole accordion. They had a solo. The guy had a solo.
So unless you're in either a John Cougar Mellencamp backing band or the Bacon Brothers backing band, once you get to high school, it's all of a sudden not cool. Grade school's awesome, but once you get to high school, it's not so cool to play the accordion. Promise you. Promise.
But it helps you learn music. You got to read music.
100%.
and- Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
Then you
sure.
pick up guitar. You can play guitar.
All of that.
It's unique, man. It's different.
Yeah, it's
for
different.
sure.
That reminds me of that line he says to Marley where he's like, I got a sweater with a kitten there, something knitted on. And he's like, a guy could get beat up in the second grade for wearing that.
Yeah, right?
It's true. It's true.
Was that Kieran Culkin's character said that, or what was
No,
it?
Macaulay said
Macaulay
it.
said that?
It's Marley in the church. when he's
Later on when
talking
they're
to
sitting in
Gotcha.
church.
The old man, yeah.
All right. Well, the jig is up. The wet bandits have figured out that Kevin is home alone, and they plan on robbing the house that night. Meanwhile, Kevin begins to have a change of heart. Seeing other families sharing Christmas Eve in the neighborhood and learning the true story of Old Man Marley from the old man himself, Kevin realizes the importance of family. So this is just a little quick little interlude, right? So this is where he's at the church talking to Marley about the shirt. What else? Oh, he talks to the Santa. He talks to the Santa. He says, "No. I understand how this works.
Yeah.
All of you guys just dress up like
As
Santa."
he pulls his beard up.
And then you send the message. What is it? You send it off to
yeah, you
real
send
guy.
it. Yeah, I know. Did you work for him? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's you get at like 3 Tic
Tic
Tacs?
Tacs. Yeah, don't spoil your supper, he says.
Oh God damn, that's good.
Again, nobody figures this kid just hanging out by himself, hanging out at church at midnight. Like,
Nobody's questioning it.
yeah.
The cashier tried to press him, and he
She
was like,
did.
he just slapped her down. He just had an answer for everything.
everything,
Come up in
yeah.
the car. I can't
It's like,
tell
come-
you.
yeah,
you're a
come on.
stranger.
Like,
Lady,
yeah.
I'm 8 years old.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
really think I'm here alone? Yeah.
I don't think so.
Right. Do you really think I'll be left here alone?
Fun fact on that Santa Claus. I mean, it was a fun fact, but I'll bring it up now. You know who's going to play that part? Who was to play that part?
I do.
Go ahead.
Chris Farley.
That's it.
Oh,
Chris
They
Farley.
nice.
said
That'd have been
no.
perfect.
Yeah.
He was rejected.
Yeah,
Really?
They
Yeah.
said no to him.
Oh, that's like
Oh, I
cutting
didn't know
MJ,
that.
man.
Yeah.
You didn't read that? Yeah.
I didn't read it. He got rejected. I just
Yeah.
thought he just didn't do it.
It was either John Hughes or Chris Columbus said, you just don't gel with what we're doing here.
I think it was too much Saturday Night Live. I think he was
Well,
too
I was
big of
gonna
a.
say, he was big by
That's
then.
what I'm saying. I think he even
Like, no pun
played.
intended, but
Both, yeah.
yeah,
He even
both
played
ways.
it like on SNL. I think it was just too much for the movie.
just over the top.
They didn't want to take like, I don't know, make the movie any cheesier than it already was. I guess.
Oh yeah.
So they never discussed whatever happened with Marley and his son. I mean, I know they had a falling out, but they never talked about
Yeah, they don't
what
get
was
into that.
said.
Yeah, he just says, I think he says to him in the church, he's like, we exchanged words, and I told him I didn't care to see him anymore, and he said he felt the same, and that was it.
Yeah.
That's
There's
a
that
shame.
disagreement or something. And
And it's so sad seeing the grandfather sitting there with his granddaughter in the choir and he can't say shit to her.
Cheer, yeah.
That's a shame, man.
he's not welcome there.
Yep.
Should have called the cops on him.
Until life coach Kevin McAllister
Yeah.
sets him straight,
right.
like he does with the pigeon lady in the second one.
Tell me, I need to see his SAT scores. Like this
Yeah.
guy, freaking Kevin.
Yep.
Boy genius.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So we showed up here, in the house proper of the basement, and the Christmas tree is already up, already decorated, and all of that stuff.
Right.
Not a single tree in the McAllister house, not a single decoration, nothing. Now I get it that they were going to be away for Christmas, but they only left 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
A house like that, all those kids of their own McAllister proper, you'd think you'd have something up.
Yeah.
Something.
Isn't there that old school like way where people used to do that the night before?
The night before, yeah, Christmas Eve.
and stuff.
So that's I think where Matt and I are coming from. Like, there's no way I would be willing to put up my tree now because I would get Christmased out. I think it's too early.
Oh, I agree. This is not me upstairs.
I get you. My wife's the same way. Like, no, I think they do it. I think we try to do it like 2 weeks, 3 weeks before Christmas, and that's like the max.
You got to wait. It got to get into December. Like
she
right
wanted-
after
she wanted to do
Thanksgiving
it.
is early.
She wanted to do it before Thanksgiving. I'm like, absolutely not. I was like, I'm not doing that.
I'm putting the foot down.
Telling that.
Right.
But I think the McAllisters gave the nanny like the week off before so they could go on their trip. Like I think because they weren't setting shit up themselves. That's a house. Like the dude got too much money, man.
It's true.
Yeah.
He ain't doing that. He ain't getting a tree and all. He's like, you know.
Oh, I know.
sending a
Mom
group.
definitely ain't cleaning that
Yeah,
house.
mom ain't cleaning that shit up.
Wait, did we ever
you can get that
conclude what does Mr. McAllister do for a living?
We have no
We
clue.
don't know.
Nobody ever knows.
He's a drug dealer, probably.
There is an old tale told by wives about his involvement with The Sopranos.
Oh, Mafia?
There's a guy in The Sopranos in one of the episodes where you see him and you're like, "Yep, that's him. That's him." It's definitely that actor. And years later, they're saying they tie that back and say, "Yeah, well, of course that's how he afforded that house. He was working with The Sopranos."
Chicago mob was huge.
You would think, though, those guys, if that would be the case, that they would know.
They would, yeah,
that
they wouldn't
guy's
mess with them.
connected.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they just got out of jail and
Oh,
stuff.
Marvin Harry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they low? They're too low on
They're too low.
to know who's the boss.
Yeah,
and who's not.
and they're not in the they're not in the circle.
Right.
Joe Pesci is. He would have known.
Yeah,
He kills made men.
Yeah.
Right.
He does.
And he was like, "Oh, yeah." They got him. He's like, "Oh."
All right, let's get back to this one. So, Kevin readies himself for the Wet Bandits' arrival with a barrage of booby traps. After more than a dozen injuries, the bandits are led by Kevin to a neighboring house, an address for which Kevin had called the police and reported a burglary in process. As the bandits prepare to exact their revenge on Kevin, Old Man Marley saves the day by knocking them out. The police arrive not long after and arrest the bandits.
Yeah, that guy in that shovel, man, he's always carrying that around.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't get these booby traps that he had because, like, when I was that age, I couldn't like set a mouse trap properly. Like, I was afraid I'd break my finger or something.
The micro machine.
Well, they allude to that, Dave, in the beginning. His dad says, "Hey, all these micro machines, and whatever, nearly stepped on one and broke her neck." So
Right.
that you're kind of thinking like, "Oh,
He planted the seed.
yeah,
Right.
Is that guy still alive? Micro Machines guy?
I haven't seen him in a while. Is
Right, it's just
the quick talker?
Yeah, the quick talking guy. Like that was the thing back then. So was the guy that made all the black dude from Police Academy.
Oh, Mike.
Like that was the whole career, like the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Fun fact, he was also the quick talker for FedEx.
Yes. That guy was. Yep.
You have one of the first big FedEx commercials.
I would think Michael Winslow is still alive. Micro
Yeah, he
Machines
is.
guy. I don't know if he is or
He was
not.
probably in his like mid 40s, 50s then.
Who? The
Micro Machines guy.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the Winslow from Family Matters.
Yeah, that's
Carl Winslow."
Carl Winslow.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
Big guy.
Hey, big guy.
TGI Friday.
Did you see there was a thing coming out on Urkel?
He sells weed now.
Urkel does.
Really?
Jello White.
He's got Urkel.
What was his,
there's
like-
an Urkel brand of weed.
What was his like?
Is that like
suave
the shit you can get at the stores? Like I want some
Yeah.
Urkel.
Shit, yeah.
Did you watch that
I bet
show?
it gets you all
Did you guys-
He must have spent all that Family Matters money, I guess.
geeks you out.
Did I watch Family Matters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the smooth version? Urkel.
Urkel or
Oh,
Stefan Urkel.
Stefan. Yeah, when he got into
Urkel.
the machine,
Yeah.
Laura liked him.
That's right.
Really? She's like, oh,
Stefan.
yeah. It's like it's the same dude.
Yeah, it's the same dude without glasses.
Yeah, without glasses.
I wonder if, even though he was famous in that, Jaleel White playing Urkel, like if it hurt his game outside of the show.
They said they have a whole thing on E coming out about that, like how when he was like being the only like black nerd on television, like he.
But like girls be like, "Oh, you're Urkel. I'm not."
Yeah, but
messing."
he would have like dude would have like mental breakdowns and shit.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I said he got so much ass for being the black nerd on
Of
TV.
course he did. Of course he did.
Say
yeah.
it again. Say it again. Can I do that?
Yeah, can I, like he'd be at a bar late at night, in like
right.
New York. He'd be like,
Yeah,
"Oh
yeah.
man, this
Yeah.
guy's great. I love this guy." Yeah, but like he was having like nervous breakdowns and stuff, according to this whole E thing coming out on
I
him.
can only
But-
imagine. Yeah,
No, man.
because that's
All
your
right.
character.
But he'd be like 20 years old, like still playing like a 14-year-old nerd.
Yeah.
In honor of our special guest, I'm looking for the total number and what they are of all booby traps and Kevin inflicted pains on the Wet Bandits.
Okay. Well, let's
This
see.
includes. I'll even give you the first one and the last one. The first one is Kevin shooting them with the BB gun through the dog door.
Okay. All right.
The last one is Kevin cutting the zip line with the pruning shears.
Okay.
If
All
you
right.
can give me the other ones in between, you are a
So,
super fan.
Let's see. In between that, we have Marv sliding down the ice steps. at the
Ice
basement
Spice.
door.
Yep. That
We
is
have
what-
Harry touching the hot knob with the M on his palm.
Yep.
Then Marv comes in and let me see. He steps on the nail.
Or was that was that inside
That was in the
house?
basement.
Yeah.
And then he's in the
That's
basement.
that. All of
And
these count. Yep.
Harry opens the door with the blowtorch on his head.
Yep.
And he kicks the door in. Let me see here. Marv hits the nail. Comes up front. Harry gets the feathers in the face with the saran
tar or
wrap.
whatever
Yeah,
that
the
was.
saran wrap.
Yeah.
Why the hell you dressed like a chicken? Why the hell you take your shoes off?
That
Fun
part.
fact.
Yes.
Fun fact: that was the only time the term "hell" was used in that movie.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Buzz says ass. He said, I wouldn't let you sleep in the same bed with me if you were growing on my ass.
There was a shit in there too.
There was.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah,
one
that's
shit.
right.
One shit, two hells, one ass.
Yes. There you go. All right, so I had that. So what am I see here? Stepping on the ornaments through the window.
Yep.
Slipping on the micro machines
Yep.
where he loses his gold tooth. Oh, no, the paint cans is where he loses his gold tooth.
Yep. Paint cans.
Let's see here. The string that they trip over in the
Trip
top
wire?
shelf.
Yep.
I guess we can count the tarantula he puts on there.
That is correct.
All right, we can count that. And then,
You missed two in the two in the beginning.
let me see here. Let me go back here.
You had icy basement stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're missing it when he steps in
Oh,
the
the iron.
window.
Marv, the iron on his face.
The iron on the face, but there was icy basement stairs, but there was also
Oh, yeah, icy front steps.
icy
Harry-
front
yeah,
steps.
right.
That is, in fact, all of them. That is a total of 14 booby traps and Kevin inflicted wounds.
What about
Nice.
the window? The
That's the
ki-
rope.
No. The they were made out of candy, but the ornaments.
Oh,
were-
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what he said when he
Yeah.
stepped in.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Stepped in
yeah,
and crushed the ornaments. Yeah.
yeah. That's my favorite scene. when he
Dude,
goes-
that was heroic. Well
was
played,
awesome.
Corey.
Years
Well
of,
done.
years of
Well done.
rewatching.
Holy shit, man. You nailed that.
Why Home Alone? Is it just like you having your own kids now,
It's
or is it
just-
before that?
You know
or
what? It's
like
just a
the
movie
family
I
thing?
watched when I was little, and it's things like that stick with me. Like when I hear something like that, I remember it. If I watch it once or twice, like I just remember it. It's weird like that. I mean, I can do it with a lot of movies.
Dude, he's phenomenal at it. That's why I thought of him because we quote this all the time. Home Alone. We'll quote, like I'll say something and he'll like say a
I'll
quote
just
to
come
me.
out with the quote
I'm
of
like,
any movie. Like
Maybe the fourth on the reviews, man. You come out with the one liners.
I'm having a blast.
This guy here with like lyrics too, rap lyrics or music, whatever. He'll just retain it. It's amazing. But this movie, especially, I thought of him because we talk about it all the time. Speaking of which, my favorite part when he gets up and he's going over the treehouse, he says to him, he's going to call the cops. And what's he
He's
say?
not calling the cops from a treehouse.
Yeah, that's like my favorite part.
That's actually, I was going to actually just point that out next. That could never happen today because all these kids got phones on.
Cell
I know.
phones and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Well, no, the whole movie wouldn't happen with the cell phone.
Right.
Mom, you left me at the house.
You take away the whole movie.
Right.
Ma, you left me home.
Yeah, Mom, I'm home. They would have turned around. Mm-hmm. I still don't see how they didn't. Kevin's like the biggest prick in the family.
I know.
Nobody's
No
seen
one
him.
knew it.
No,
Yeah,
nobody
no
knew
one's
he was
seen him.
dead.
No one even
Come on.
cared about him.
Yeah.
Just on the head count, she counted that kid by mistake. That's it.
No.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to believe that a mother would not. Like mothers are usually so on top of that stuff.
That's why Home Alone 2 blew me away. I was like, really?
Well, look how much money it made. You know what I'm saying? Or
You're trying this
going on?
again?
Again? Yeah, exactly. That's what I was like, really?
You're going to forget him again? So it's, I came up always hearing that you never want to have the most expensive house on the block. I can promise you that the McAllisters had the most expensive house on the block. The clear evidence of that, when you look across the street at the Murphy's house, little blue 2-story piece of shit.
Trailer park trash.
Yeah,
Right,
man.
right,
Compared to this McAllister mansion,
Right.
damn,
With the big fence and the long driveway and the
Huge.
detached driveway.
tremendous.
They're doing that shit in Hershey now. If you drive down Hershey, you know where they have like the Mason's place there on the corner, like going to the right hand side, you used to have like that fruit stand and you sell.
Oh yeah, down there.
Yeah, where if you go left down that road,
Yes.
they're knocking out like those old like Hershey homes. The
Yeah,
old,
I did a.
yeah, they're like knocking houses out completely and building brand new homes on them. So like you see like these old home, $3 million homes, old home.
I have seen that.
But do you see those little Hershey houses? I mean, they're like 2-bedroom,
Little Cape Cods.
yeah, little Cape Cod, tiny Cape Cods.
and they'll add on to them and do so. But I did want to for my side business, I do home theater stuff, and I did work for a couple that have a house. That road's called I think is it Oak Avenue or Maple?
Maple, maybe.
They're all tree
we were
related.
just there on that parade of homes.
So these people bought this house.
Ahoy polloi.
Yeah, right. These people bought this house for probably $700,000-800,000 and gutted it.
Yeah.
And then put another probably $500,000 or $600,000
At least. It's like
they're redoing it.
Look, this is simple. The dirt in Hershey is worth it for many people for that exclusivity, but it's the same as going down to the shore. Or if I'm from Philly, down the shore.
Down the shore, right.
So you go to any one of these beaches, Long Beach Island, Avalon, Stone Harbor, you name it. They buy the dirt and they knock that shit down completely just so they can build their own. They want it for the dirt. They don't give a shit about the house.
Right. But there is some rule in that area that with Hershey that you cannot change the exterior too much. It has to keep that feel and that look. So and
I know that exists on Chocolate Avenue, on the main drag.
Well, this road that they're on, that Matt's talking about, it's like a wider road that runs through parallel with like Chocolate, but down kind of on an angle. And if you knock down and build, you have to like submit your plans, and it has to match the architecture of the time.
Architecture of the time.
So that's why that house, they left the exterior the same, and then all the interiors all updated and modern. But it's a ton of money.
I'll give you another quick fun fact on those Hershey huts. So those houses, let's not forget, those houses were originally built for and given to Hershey employees. It was like
it was a town for Hershey.
It was like a mining town. Like, yeah, you work for me, I'll give you a house, which was absolutely true. So there's a thing. There's still to this day deed restrictions because Hershey didn't die. Relatively all that long ago. So there are still families just now dying out that still had deed restrictions that were basically, if you no longer, so that's the thing, like you work at Hershey and you retire from Hershey, you get to live in this house the rest of your life. However, when you or your wife or whatever the hell, whoever's left dies, Hershey proper gets the trust, or the Hershey Coco gets first dibs at if they want to buy that house or not. Like I should say they get first right of refusal.
Are you saying like the family that works for Hershey, like the one that when they die, like they can't give it to their relatives or anything like that?
Correct. They can't will it down they can't will it down without Hershey's consent, saying, you know what? No, it's yours. It's been long enough. You keep it. It's fine. Like Hershey has first right of refusal to say, fuck off, get out of that house. That's our property.
So on brand for Hershey.
And then we're just going on.
That's some baller ass shit.
Yeah,
that's
man,
really baller.
Sure.
Check out Pronio's Italian Market if you ever been there.
Great sausage.
Fennel sauce, the fennel seed Italian
The
sausage.
best meatloaf you will ever have.
Oh, I've never tried that.
Pronio's meatloaf?
I love meatloaf.
Do not sleep on this. Now, not the stuff they already cooked and is in the deli case. I'm talking about it's prepped and cold in a little raw, it would a 1 pound pan in the meat case. Fun fact, they got a meat grinder there specific for the meatloaf. So they take the 3 meats and the spices into the grinder and it extrudes all at once. So you get that super smooth, just that perfect consistency of meatloaf. Like you can overwork meat. I mean, look,
Absolutely.
you make a burger for too long, you're working that thing in a boulder.
Right.
So soft, so amazing. Pronio's meatloaf, ready to cook in the meat case. Don't sleep on that.
Yeah.
Delish.
Yep.
Always coated with 1 slice of bacon.
So what, McAllister worked for Hershey then?
Sounds like it.
He
He
must
was
have.
starting the Chicago branch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chicago branch.
Surprised they didn't open one there.
So, I'm sorry. Before we move on, I guess Marv gave it away with the Wet Bandits.
Yeah. We knew every house you did.
Yeah, we know every house you did because you left the goddamn sink going.
You idiot.
Dumbass. All right. Well, it's Christmas Day. Kevin's Christmas wish comes true when his mom arrives home after a long ride with the Polka Guys. The rest of his family returns not but minutes later. Despite his father finding Harry's gold tooth on the floor, Kevin keeps the tale of the Wet Bandits to himself. Across the street, we find old man Marley reuniting with his son and his family. And right before the credits roll, our movie ends with Buzz yelling to Kevin as to what happened to his room. So the Polka Guys, right? This ride back is great. So Kevin's mom's losing her mind, like, oh, I'm the worst parent of all time. I'm the worst parent of all time. And Gus is like, no. You want to talk about bad parents? Joe over there, he forgets his kid's name. Ziggy, he's never met his kids. Eddie, well, let's just hope none of them ever write a book about them. And Gus left his kid in a funeral parlor.
Yeah,
I love that. He's like, oh, he came around after a couple weeks, started talking again.
After 6 or 7 weeks, he started talking again. Top show.
I guess that was good then. I guess that was, he came up with all that then too, maybe.
Off top of his head.
Top
You
of
think
his
so?
head.
Wouldn't shock me
Yeah.
one bit, as talented as he was.
Yeah, John Candy was
When did he die? He was young, like 40 or not even?
43.
43.
Not the
Damn.
picture of health, but
Nah.
No.
We talked about that in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which we just did. That he was having problems during that filming with like
and they told him, they told him to work out, and then he was like, nah.
What did they brought in exercise equipment for him, and he said, "Yeah, thanks, but no thanks."
Didn't even use.
Yeah, they said he never touched it. Or Steve Martin said, he would go there. He's like, I ain't touching that shit. I think he smoked.
Who?
John Candy.
Shit, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah,
absolutely,
big time.
And I'm sure he didn't like leave the bourbon alone or anything.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't either.
No.
He might have had maybe one or too many Jackson House burgers.
Maybe one or three,
because that's a hearty burger.
Half pound.
Oh my God,
Is that what it is? Half pound?
Half pounder.
Yes, sir.
That is 8 ounces of beefy goodness. Interesting to find that the family arrives home literally minutes later.
She wasted all that time.
Yeah, all she had to do was calm the hell down and wait till the next day.
Not really. That shows the love of a mother. That's what they were trying to.
I think that shows a frantic broad.
She would leap over buildings to get home to her kid that she never should have left in the first place.
Kevin's playing all tough. He's like mean mugging her until she's like, "I'm sorry," and then he's just like, "Okay, I forgive you."
Forget everything.
Look, he was a kid. He's just learning how to act.
Second grader.
Yeah.
That made his career though.
Sure did.
Made his career.
Fun facts. Oh, it's about that time.
Yes, we love fun facts. We were throwing some in here and there. We were premature fun facting, but that's always
fun fact
good.
appetizer.
Ladies love that.
Yeah. So I thought this was an interesting one. I didn't really ever look at this movie this way, but some people consider this to be a kid's version of Die Hard. Did you ever think about that?
One of the best Christmas movies of all time.
Yeah, one of the best Christmas movies of all time.
I'm not getting into this argument.
I will remain neutral.
If you think about it, similar as Die Hard with a kid. Die Hard came out, 89? So that was before this.
You could tie a lot of movies together with anything if you reach, but I see that. I could see that.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis, the man. Poor Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's a shame, man.
That is such a shame.
He is a legend.
Dude. I know, man.
I saw that video of his daughter with him like holding her hand. It's like he just looks like a shell.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah,
What are they saying? He can't remember like lines or
He can't remember shit.
He can't remember shit.
It's going away, man. And not for nothing. I don't need to see that. And you know what?
I know, man.
The world doesn't need to see that. Like, leave the man alone.
Yep.
Leave his family alone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's just messed up, man. I don't need this month by month catch up on Bruce Willis as to how he's withering away. That's awful.
I know.
Right.
maybe he just don't want to work anymore. He just like lied about it.
You think, I don't know.
They're like, Bruce, man. He's like,
Who's Bruce?
I don't want to remember.
So, fun fact, this film was originally financed by Warner Brothers.
Yes.
And when the budget got to be too big, Hughes actually had 20th Century Fox like on standby.
On the back burner, yep.
Now, is that legal?
No, like they weren't allowed to see the script, I guess, or know about. I guess there was some. I watched the thing on that. I don't know if it's the same thing.
It was on Netflix.
The movies that made us. Yeah, they had referenced that they had left the script lay somewhere that they kind of stumbled upon, but it was put there as kind of like
sure.
So there was definitely a gray area.
I left my script here.
Yeah,
has anyone seen it?
Just walking by this table at a restaurant. Right. Oh, whoops! This fell out of my pocket.
You can keep it.
Chris Columbus was on there, and the one guy from 20th Century Fox was there on this documentary, and they were talking about how I guess they got to talking at the commissary or something. The one day he said, "Hey, how's that Home Alone movie going?" He's like, it's going all right, but they're like fighting me on the budget. And he pitched it to him verbally there, like, what's it about? And he was like, man, I love this movie. Like, we would do it for that price. And it was kind of there was nothing in writing, but he's like, hey, if they back out.
Like a verbal thing.
Yeah, call me. And that's what it was. But I think the budget, Warner Brothers said 13.5 million is what we'll give you. They were looking for 14.7.
Damn.
So it was like 1.2 million apart.
Get so close.
Yeah. And I believe 20th Century, according to this, if this number's right, even went over that to 18 million. And at the time, they were saying that was like a cheap movie because like some movies, like I forget which ones they were referencing, like 70 million, 60 million, you know what I mean? These numbers were high. So it really wasn't like they were asking a ton, but they didn't think this movie was going to be what it was.
The thing is, it's a John Hughes movie.
Right.
Like this guy was gold.
Yes, it was everything he touched, man.
A sure thing, man. A sure thing.
I would say probably for sure this was probably the best at the box office, but all those other movies did well, I'm sure, as well.
Sure.
You know what I mean? After this, though, I don't know that they were saying some of the John Hughes
Hughes, it wasn't
like was Curly Sue and Max, or what was the one, Career Opportunities, and there was a couple other ones. Like he never caught that success that he had from Home Alone, or even the ones before that.
You really don't know. I think that's why they make so many movies, because some, like, you just put something out there and just, you know, it might be a Home Alone
Shot in the dark, you never know.
And it might be nothing.
Right.
For you, what two guys from Goodfellas could have been teamed back up together for this movie?
Well done, Matt. Well done.
Oh man. As far as like the bandits, to be the bandits?
Yeah.
You have Joe Pesci, who could have been the other one with him from Goodfellas.
Probably De Niro.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
De Niro.
correct.
Was there another one too from Goodfellas or no?
I just think it was Pesci. They asked De Niro, and I think he was like, "What the fuck? I want to fucking little kid.
Yeah,
Are you
right?
crazy?"
For Pesci's role, they approached two guys. The first one was De Niro. He turned it down. He said, hell no. They also approached John Lovitz.
Oh, was Lovitz supposed to be one of the
Yeah.
guys? That's right. Yeah, I
He
seen
was
that.
he was also supposed to be, he was the second choice for Harry, and he turned it down. Finally, they offered it to Pesci, and he said, yeah, sure, why not?
Didn't Lovitz do that liar thing?
That's the ticket.
That's the
Yeah,
ticket.
that's
Back when I was a burglar. Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah. That's I used to love that.
That was a good. Yeah, that was great, man.
So Chris Columbus, as a kid, his biggest fear was burglars, and that's part of the why
Interesting.
he wanted to make this movie. So
He actually, I think he secretly rewrote some of this script. Like it came to him from Hughes, and then he said, all right, thanks, I'll give this a once over. But he didn't take credit for it. Like he's not credited for writing this, but he made significant changes to this to actually make it work. Like he added Marley,
yes,
and he did some other tweaks to it to just to really
Smooth it out a little bit.
Yeah, make it all just cohesive.
well, one of the big parts that he added was the whole backstory about the kid, the son, and the family turmoil with Marley and all that, and that church scene.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, we want to make this like a more touching part," and it added that to at the end then with the, you know, the redemption or whatever with his son.
Sure,
So-
because why have one family reuniting when you could have two?
right.
What a beautiful story.
Two beautiful stories.
Yes, could have been 3.
Be interested.
That's
to see
Home
how.
Alone 3.
Yeah.
Home Alone 2.5.
Kelsey Grammer was originally written to be Uncle Frank.
True.
They wrote it for the Frasier star.
Oh, really?
What you did, you little jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is like his only.
Yeah, right.
like
It's
Kelsey Grammer's going to be like, I ain't showing up for that shit.
Yeah.
That was that was a half a day's worth of work at best, and that includes the time to get makeup on. I read that too. Kelsey was unavailable. I guess he was doing Frasier or some shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Or he didn't have time or whatever. Like a lot of this stuff in Hollywood, I think like it's people owing people favors. Like, hey, can you hop in this movie? It's a real quick scene, this and that. And a couple guys are like, you know, I got other stuff going on right now.
I'll
You're
do it
like,
real quick or
yeah,
something like
yeah.
that.
Speaking of that, that's what John Candy stepped in as a favor to John Hughes. He got he made less than they were saying than the Pizza Boy. The Pizza Boy made $500 a day for his filming. Now John Candy only worked for one day, but he made like $400 and some dollars.
$414.
That's
For
what
the
it was. Yeah.
legend.
And it was 23 hours of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy.
That doesn't surprise me with John Candy. He
Yeah.
seems just like a level-headed guy. Like, oh yeah, sure, I'll come do it. We'll have fun.
He was already in his movies though too. Like
Uncle Buck will make some toys and some peanut butter. Yeah.
Hughes asked him for a favor, and he delivered a favor.
Yeah, he did it. And
It's a stand-up guy.
Yeah, that Hollywood stuff is a lot of like people saying, "Hey, man, you're a buddy of mine. Can you just step in like this one role? I kind of wrote it for you." Like some guys are available, some guys are not.
And then, you know, it's kind of like with me, like with you guys, like one more thing. And you keep doing more work. Like when we're doing the podcast,
Real
these guys
quick.
always joke, real quick, guys, real quick. Let's do
It's
this.
never
still-
real.
2 hours later, hey, just one more thing.
We got to get
We're
this.
still waiting for our first paycheck. Dave still has it. He has it like in a.
You got
I'm gonna
Milton's
frame
over
it
here. I
for
didn't receive my
$3.75.
Yeah, right.
Milton over here.
Milton, yeah. You said there'd be
I
paychecks.
didn't receive my paycheck.
That's right.
My stapler. Have you guys ever seen The Fugitive?
Yeah,
Oh,
Harrison
yeah.
Ford.
It's been years.
All right,
Yeah,
so-
with Harrison Ford.
One of
There's
the
a-
best Christmas movies.
Is that the one in Lancaster County?
No, that's Witness.
Witness. Okay, never mind.
That's what the English. Witness, Fugitive, whatever.
Close,
It's the
close.
same movie,
Yeah,
pretty much.
similar.
So there's an actor in that movie. His name is Daniel Roebuck.
Yes.
And he was actually, so I'll take that a step back. Just I always look at these actors and I think of the movies that I've seen them in, and that's just how I know them. So in The Fugitive, he was the actor. He kept using this word hinky was his word. That's hinky. It's hinky. It's like it's off. It's weird. It's obscure. It's whatever. It's hinky. He was actually hired to replace Marv.
Yes.
So the guy who played Marv quit because he was only paid. His part would have taken 8 weeks to film, but they only wanted to pay him for 6.
Right.
So he's ugly and about, dude, I want my 2 weeks of pay, or, fuck off. I quit. So he quit. So they started doing this stuff with this Daniel Roebuck, and he just didn't gel well with Pesci. He didn't do well with the rest of the cast. So they after spending the money on him to do that and the time on him, they said, okay, come back, original Marv. We're going to pay you those extra 2 weeks. And then he finally came back.
They had to, yeah. Because actually, I found that out too, that him and Pesci actually worked together, Stern and
Stern, thank you, Stern.
On a movie years ago. So they were friends. So a lot of times that familiarity, you work better
with the chemistry,
together. Right,
for sure.
the chemistry is
Yeah,
better.
the original guy too. Like you're pissing Pesci off, afraid the guy's going to kill you or something.
Right.
So get the animal out of you. Getting all mad.
Speaking of that, did you hear that story about Pesci during this production? There's like an assistant, somebody on set basically was telling him, hey, I need you here tomorrow at 7. And he's like, no, I'll be here at 9. Because he liked to play 9 holes of golf.
Yeah, every morning. Before he had to act, before he had to go to work, he had to shoot play 9 holes of golf.
9 holes of golf. So he grabbed the guy by the collar
Yeah.
and drug him into like he's Goodfellas. You know what I mean? He's like, tell this guy I'm not coming in. And he's like, all right, he's not coming in before 9.
Wow.
So he went and played his 9 holes of golf.
You see, he wouldn't interact with Macaulay Culkin at all because he wanted him to be like afraid of him.
Scared of him.
Yeah, because of just what he knew from him, or like.
Oh, that makes sense. Like not be friendly.
Yeah,
like, you can't be friendly all set.
So when he did the stuff with him, like he would be like when he yelled or did stuff. Macaulay Culkin was kind of like,
aback.
this guy's
Extra menacing.
Weird. Yeah, this guy's weird.
Menace to Culkin.
We talked about that with now we didn't do a vintage cinema review on this movie, but Miracle, we went and did the event for the ice hockey movie about the USA Olympic team. Now Kurt Russell was in that. He played Coach Herb Brooks. The gentleman we talked to, Patrick O'Brien Dempsey, was one of the players, and it was like, oh, we're going to get to meet Kurt Russell. They never really got to meet him. He stayed away from the players because he was saying the same type thing. He wanted those players to kind of respect him and almost be scared of him. Like he's the coach. And he kept that. So I can see that.
Plus, he was such a big star too, so like they would be like, "Oh, I got to really try to act."
Starstruck, yeah.
Right. So that makes sense.
It does.
So I got a fun fact on this.
Go for it.
It's about time.
So
God
that
damn it.
house now, you can live in, like, stay in that house. Like, you can rent it out and like stay in it for a couple
like an Airbnb.
Or? Like something. Like, but the inside is totally. The inside was a set.
Oh
the outside. So the outside was only
legit.
and the garage. My brother actually, like 2 years ago, he was in Chicago and he drove down that street and drove right by it.
Oh shit.
The garage is gone now.
Oh, really?
So it's just leveled on the side, but it looks the exact same.
I saw like a quick video clip of it, and it looks like they put a fence around it.
Yeah,
and they changed a couple things, but yeah, you're right. I did hear that about the interior shots. I think they shot 1 or 2 parts inside. It was like the landing area.
Just the foyer. That's it.
The foyer, is that what it was? Yep. Yeah. I wonder what it costs to stay there. You said you can stay there?
I don't know. I have to look it up, but you can stay. But wouldn't you be disappointed if you're like, I'm going to stay in the Home Alone house, and then you go in and it's like, this doesn't look anything like it.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, this is something you had touched on earlier. So as we're talking about this, and the only interior scene of that house is just basically maybe what you can get from that foyer. But they built the rest of that set for that house. They built that house, all the rooms of that house, in a local gymnasium in a high school.
Yeah, that's right.
And they did the airplane scene. That was also built in a gymnasium on the basketball court.
Yes.
And the flooded basement. Did you say that was in a pool?
It was in a pool, in the basement pool.
That was in the pool of that high school. All of this in a high school that was not going. It was unused.
Yeah, that was the same high school they used for Breakfast Club.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And a couple other John Hughes movies. They used it for.
Was the high school in use, or was it abandoned?
I think at that time it was abandoned.
Yeah.
They were using it. It looks like now, like according to that documentary, they were going through it and it's being used now as a school.
Yeah.
Probably because population exploded. And
But look at the quality of the movies back then when you had to build the sets and you didn't have CGI just to do everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like you had to actually go build the sets and go there and do it and make sure it was not right and everything. I feel like the movie qualities were just so much better back then.
Yeah.
I agree. That's why.
Personally.
I mean, we feel that way as well. That's why we love doing these vintage cinemas.
Yeah,
You know?
CGI is an easy way out. It's a cop out.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It's beat.
The green screen's really ruining cinema.
Totally bunk.
There's no work. It's like that AI bullshit.
But you save so much money, and that's all. That's all it's about these days.
Yeah.
Is the bottom line.
Jess
the
will
bottom
tell you
dollar.
the same thing.
Yep. For sure.
The juicy squeeze, man. The juicy squeeze.
This movie the juice was certainly worth the squeeze for this movie.
Absolutely.
For damn sure.
Talking about that, the CGI and all that, those stunts were all done by stuntmen. That
Yeah, wasn't a guy like 20 years old Macaulay
the
Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin stunt double was 30.
I was gonna say,
That's it, yeah. He was an old dude.
it was a dwarf 30-year-old.
Well, you
Yeah,
can tell when he's going across on going toward the fun house over there, or his tree house.
Yes,
like
yeah,
the dude
when
is
he's
like a big grown dude. I was like, man, that's terrible.
Smoking a cigar.
When he's sliding down the steps.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to thread that needle perfectly down the steps, or he'd have smashed into the wall.
Hell yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What was that on Spaceballs? Yeah, the stunt double. The guy.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, let me get another.
Oh, the princess. Yeah.
He's got a goattee.
Yeah.
It's just Macaulay Culkin, just a grown ass man.
Yep.
Let's do that one again. I wasn't satisfied with that.
Off topic fun fact. So we did that interview with what's Dr. McSteamy but O'Brien.
Patrick O'Brien Dempsey.
Patrick O'Brien Dempsey. Thank
People
you.
Magazine,
I had
sexiest man alive.
Sorry, I had a brain fart. So Patrick O'Brien Dempsey, when he's not acting, works on sets. He builds sets. He builds.
Oh, yes.
He builds props. He does all kinds of shit.
You were telling me about that. I didn't get to talk to him about that, but I remember you telling me.
I mean,
that's
he's
what
got
he
to
does.
earn money. He's not exactly
I can't
acting
see
that
him
much.
doing that. He seems kind of like a pretty boy. Like I'm
No,
Well,
so-
not that Dempsey.
So
yeah.
Patrick O'Brien.
all right, okay, all right.
To be clear,
Whoa.
Yeah, we had that
Show
get on
my
the
age
show.
here.
Yeah.
No, well,
Okay.
we get
Yeah.
this all the time.
yeah, it's
We tell him about-
Patrick O'Brien Dempsey.
I was wondering why you're saying that. I'm thinking, did that guy change his name?
No.
No,
And then he said sexiest man alive. So I'm like, oh, that is that guy.
That's the joke.
That's the
that's
joke.
that's the ongoing joke of the podcast.
It's like the same person. They just changed their names when they
right.
but it's not. It is in fact two separate people.
Yeah, it is. This guy was in the Miracle movie, and then he was actually in
Thor.
Thor.
Yep.
He was one of the
He was it was a I don't want to say a bit part, but he was one of the
detectives or something.
agents or some shit like Agents of Shield.
You know what's crazy? What he was telling us is that him and his buddy filmed hours and hours, like I don't know hours, but a ton of film. He was like, man, we're going to be all in this movie, and you go to see the movie, and they're in like 2 scenes or something.
That's
like,
dude. We've seen that happen in a number of these movies. I see Matt shaking his head for damn sure. Like these people will come up. As we're reading through fun facts, and we read through all these movies we do. There are countless, actors that will go in thinking, "Hey, man, it's great. I'm going to go to the premiere. I'm going to see myself." They'll sit through the premiere. There's not a damn stitch of them in that movie. Not a bit.
But that's what Patrick O'Brien Dempsey was saying. Now they're paying. They don't have to pay actors. They just use old footage or they use
Like
the
images and
faces.
stuff.
The images and just put them in the background. That we don't have to pay anybody.
no extras. No
Yeah,
nothing.
no extras, no nothing.
It's crazy.
Stupid cinema.
Well, that's all I got on the fun facts.
I got a couple other fun. Oh, I never heard about this. There was a legend
Dish it.
of Elvis Presley being in this movie. People said in the one background of the one scene at the airport, the guy they were like, "That's Elvis," and this and that. But
Elvis was dead for what? Like,
yeah, exactly.
20
Elvis
years.
is dead. People come up with conspiracy theories.
These are
and stuff.
these are the people that say that Elvis is alive and kicking, and he's on an island with Jim Morrison.
And Bob Marley.
Tupac.
yeah,
Yeah,
there you
Tupac's
go.
there.
That's right.
Right, but there was like a theory running around on the internet, and people were like, "Oh, Elvis, you see Elvis in Home Alone, and he's still alive." But finally, somebody came forward and confirmed it was actually just an extra.
Oh,
His
good.
family came, yeah.
So it's not
not
Elvis.
really
It's not
Elvis,
Elvis, okay.
lest anyone think.
Yeah, there was a guy there in Central PA that used to drive around like the Cadillac. Did you ever see the Elvis
Yes.
guy here?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He's
like
still
lives
around.
in Steelton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 here too. Gilbert Gottfried and Kevin Pollak were considered for the role of Harry Lime.
I couldn't see Gilbert Gottfried doing that.
USA,
Too little,
up all
yeah.
night.
And here's a list of, now we never know because this is just from the internet. So who knows if these are for real or not, but they're fun to think about. So Joe Pesci, they were saying wasn't the first for Harry. We talked about De Niro, Lovitz, Christopher Lloyd, Bob Hoskins, Dudley Moore, Danny DeVito, Rowan Atkinson.
What the hell was DeVito supposed to? Macaulay Culkin's character?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
His stunt double.
He playing Buzz.
Yeah. James Caan, Jimmy Caan, Stamos.
Stamos.
Yeah, that would have
Whoa.
been good.
No.
Uncle Jesse.
He's too
Hackman.
young for that.
Yeah. Kurt Russell.
Gene Hackman.
Yeah. Gene Hackman, Kurt Russell, Ray Romano, Tommy Lee Jones.
Ray
I
could've
think
put
people
it.
are just making this up.
Yeah,
can't
this
be for
isn't
real.
true.
Yeah, John Zapp.
Yeah, Zapp.
they're just throwing it
John
in
Zapp
there.
was in
Zapp
there.
was in there. Peter McAllister, that was the father. Tim Allen, they were saying. Michael Keaton, Cranston,
Keaton
which
would've
would have been
done
cool.
Oh yeah.
I don't think Cranston was as big back then.
He
was
wasn't.
in
He
like,
was looking for roles.
He was in like Seinfeld episodes and a couple of things like that. Ted Danson, Richard Gere.
Richard Gere.
Yeah.
No.
Not on this budget. I don't think they were getting these guys.
Pretty terrible.
Yeah. Fun fact, last one. Suppose it, this is according to the internet, favorite film of President Gerald Ford.
I could see that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Ford, he was probably soft in the head at the time, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Ford had to have been 90.
It was him and I at the theater.
Yeah.
We went and saw it twice.
Twice you went and saw it twice.
Hey, there's Dave.
We're here
Secret
again.
Service is all around him.
Double dating.
Yeah.
That's funny to think of actors that you read off that say could have played this role. It would change the whole movie. Like I think back to movies I love, and I'm thinking, oh, this dude could have played this, or this dude could have played that, and I'm thinking that would have ruined the whole movie for me. But I would have never known because I'd have been like, well, this is the original.
That's just the way it was.
Yeah.
Well, we talk about that with Back to the Future, and they filmed it with Eric Stoltz.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't have been the same.
Nope.
I mean, Marty McFly is, Michael J. Fox. Yeah, I just couldn't picture it any other way.
I do got kind of a lame fun fact, but they were saying that they didn't intend for the snow to be like throughout the movie, but they'd had like a huge snowstorm. There was a huge blizzard. So like as the movie's going on, there's a lot of scenes they had to take like to make like fake snow,
Right?
Or they used like the fake potato flakes,
Yes.
to like put down everywhere.
And they started to spoil. Then they said.
Yeah.
You're saying just to keep it consistent with.
Yeah, they wanted to keep it consistent. Like
What was
there
there
was already
from the
snow.
storm? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so they're like they had to keep filming with like snow places.
Damn. Interesting.
Chicago.
I probably would have done that backwards. I would have said, all right, well, look, we're just going to film everything else, wait for the shit to melt, and then
just
reshoot the stuff without the snow.
Right.
But they're like the Chicago snow like feel to it. So I guess they had to maintain the snowage.
Christmassy.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So Cory, usually at the end of the show, we do a rating system. So it's late fee, return, or burn. So late fee is like, I really love this movie. I'm keeping it. I'm going to pay the late fee. Return is like, I watched it. It was good. I'm just returning it. Like, it's just okay. And then burn is like, I hate it. So we'll let you start it off.
Oh, late fee for me.
Late
for
fee.
sure.
You're keeping it.
Yeah.
You're paying a late fee.
I will
and,
rewind, but I'll bring it back.
Right. You'll rewind, but you'll pay the late fee on it. Yeah.
Blockbuster.
Blockbuster.
Okay.
Miss Blockbuster.
Classic. What do you got, Zach?
What do you got, Zach?
I would, so it's tough to say that now because I've seen this so many times. I would return it.
You're returning it?
I'm not burning it, but I'm not hanging on to it just because I don't know. It's that holiday one that you can, it's good. It was a good feel. It's all right. I'm done with it now. I'm done with it now.
I think it's hard with a lot of these movies because we've seen them so many times. It's kind of like you can't really.
As for everybody listening, also.
What's that?
I said, as for everybody listening, also, I've probably seen this so many times.
Right. What I'm saying is like to rate a movie based on what you think now versus the first time you saw a movie changes so much.
Sure.
Like, obviously I'm not paying a late fee for this movie, whatever. But
Back then.
Granted, you saw it in the theaters twice before you would
so
even rent it.
That would tell you what my answer is probably going to be. But like to put yourself in that, like the first time you saw it, and you probably can't remember, but like what your feeling would be, because there's movies. I mean, most of these movies I'm not paying a late fee.
You're saying that with like Goodfellas or something. Like I remember seeing it, and then to actually sit down and like watch it, and like take it in.
Yep. And
like
the
a lot of
the characters and everything,
and just like absorb actual movie. What we do on the vintage cinema, like I think it is hard. It really is to like sit there and see a movie again.
Right.
The one, what was the one with Sean Penn and the other guy?
At Close Range.
At Close, like that's one I've really never seen. I just saw that on like Tubi, and I was just like to sit there and watch that movie. I was like, damn, it was a pretty freaking good movie.
Yeah.
But like for this movie, I'd return it. Like I'd see it, enjoy it, and take it back the next day.
But I'll caveat at the same time, I'll return it to avoid the late fee, but I will watch it as many times as I can within that 1 day, 2 day, 3 day window I might get.
Get your money's worth.
Absolutely. I would definitely rewatch it as many times as I could within the window, but I wouldn't, putting myself back in the day when that late fee was, oh my God, it's like $5 fucking man.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
It's a lot of money.
I would return it.
Yeah. I can appreciate that. For me, like I said, I remember, obviously I paid to go see it again because I really enjoyed. I think I liked back then. I'm 14. I liked the whole ending scene with Pesci getting all jacked up and all that. And I just thought it was a good movie. So I'd pay the late fee, but I'm putting myself as 14-year-old Dave, thinking, like I love it. I want to see it again. You know what I mean? Same thing with Die Hard. I feel the same way about that. I remember back then my dad and I rented that, watched it, rewound it, and watched it again.
Yeah.
Like back to
Double.
back.
Sure.
Doubled up.
Did you have to like take it out, put it in like the rewind?
The rewind machine? Yeah, I had one of them. Absolutely.
Because it took like so much faster. Yeah, they just put it back in.
Well, there was always the scare that rewinding so much would burn out your VCR.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You're taking the
Urban
string
legend?
off it.
I think so.
whoa.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that was just something. No, it was a way to sell VHS rewinding machines.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, somebody was sitting around in a boardroom just like this, be like, you know how we could make more money?
Yeah.
Like put it out there.
Rewinding machine.
Scare people into thinking that their VCRs will fail
Yes.
if they rewind too much.
But you also think about it. There was also times where you had to rent 5 and you had to watch them all like before, to get
I thought it was 3, get one free.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you couldn't waste time rewinding to pop that other movie in.
Yeah.
I remember sitting watching like 2-3 movies in a night just to get them in, before you had to take them back or, you'd have 2-day rentals or whatever. But at one time it was like, you'd rent them like, weren't they like overnight initially?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the rentals.
One day.
One day.
You'd
For
have
the
to
new
take 'em
releases,
back.
a couple of them I think you could have.
That's true.
There was,
Matt,
there
very
was some
true.
3 nights.
That's right.
All the new releases, that's where you like sat there and waited at the bin for somebody to like slide.
Yes.
Yo, did he
Yeah.
just put it in there?
Dibs.
And the guy's
Yeah.
like, oh man, no.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
And we were talking about that before we came down. You got to experience all that, even though you're younger. That was still a thing for you growing up.
Love Blockbuster.
Yeah, but there's
Some of
nothing
my
like-
best
yeah.
memories are going to Blockbuster. Mom, can I go to Blockbuster, renting a game or renting a movie?
Sure.
And just going nuts on it.
Hell yeah.
See, we didn't have games. There was no games when I think we started going to like a Blockbuster. We
Correct.
didn't have the games yet. It was just like the movie.
Movies and stuff.
Yeah. It's it was cool to know somebody at the movie place. Like, hey man, let me know when that Titanic comes back.
That's
man.
right.
I'm gonna
yeah.
need that.
Double VHS.
Yeah, that's right. Let me know when that comes back.
That was just as good as knowing somebody at a McDonald's where you're like, I'll take the cheeseburger. And then they just start banging your bag up.
Putting stuff in there. Yeah.
4
the
fries,
best.
4 doubles.
You'd be like, oh yeah.
I was that guy.
Yes, you
and
were that guy.
So was a friend of ours.
So was your cousin actually was also.
Oh, that's right.
that guy.
That's right. That's right.
But he would. I think he was like an assistant manager or something. Wasn't he?
He moved his way up.
Yeah, because I was like, yo, dang. I was like, I'll take. He's like, you want a cheeseburger?
Look,
I
the
was like,
secret
yeah.
the secret code is McChicken with extra pickles. That means that you'll know it's
You'll
me.
know it's me. Yeah.
And then it was just like, pow, I get my bag. I'm like, damn.
You know what's better than that? Knowing somebody at Jackson House.
Oh, hey.
Truth. Man, that is something special.
Yeah. You feel like you're in Goodfellas. You get pushed to the front of the line.
Yeah,
He's like, come
yeah.
on. He's like, what do you do for a living?
Yeah. Right.
He puts me right up front.
Right.
Hey, what do you say? Union.
Yeah.
Cory, I gotta admit though, you've got that down, and I mean, like, so again, I'm one of those schmucks that's just in line waiting, but you got your because I'm not in there often enough.
Yes.
As often as I'd like to be. There are people that come into your shop, and I mean, like, you could set your watch to when they're coming in.
Yeah.
And I've seen you do it, man. Bro, you look down the line of 20 people standing like, oh, hey, Joey. Yeah, come up here. We got your thing for you. We got it. Oh, hey, Tony. Yeah. It's over here. It's over. Dude, every day, like, you've got your regulars, man. My hat's off to you, man. You got
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
such a
Years of
great
experience.
system, great system, and just incredible food. Incredible food.
Thanks, man.
What do you say? 40 years?
41 years.
41
in
years.
November. This November, 41 years, my dad. I was -5 when he opened it up in 82.
Dang.
That's crazy.
That just
awesome.
speaks volumes for the quality of the food.
Yeah, it's just a little hole in the wall, but my dad's real funny about using the best stuff and not cutting any corners and everything. And like you said about I work hard in there, he won't take nothing less. I get a foot up my ass.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. The consistency is what it is. It's family owned. It's always the same people in there. Everything's just consistent. I mean, I loved it, like I said, before I even knew him. I'd go, I found out
I
about it.
remember that.
I didn't find out about it until, probably in I guess it would have been early 2000s. Well, no, I guess it would have been like mid 2000s or something like that. So, but once I found out about it, I found out through my job.
Yeah.
Guys that would deliver down in that area. And I was like, I've never heard of that. I went down, I was hooked.
Yeah. I was out of school working. I was out of college working downtown at whatever. And I heard about it 2000, like 99, 2000. Man, I was just hooked. Absolutely hooked. It's just, man, I don't know what kind of crack you are putting in that food, but damn,
I get that a lot.
it is so good. God damn.
Yeah, still saying like the 41 years around here, like you see so many places that serve food. It's called like, Anthony's Finest. You go in there, I was like, I don't see Anthony working.
Yeah, right,
Like,
yeah.
like yo,
Where's Anthony?
Where's Anthony at? I don't see no Tony in here. Like, they changed names so many times. You're just like, man, this ain't Italian's Finest.
Like,
Like,
what's with the mariachi song in the back?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Making pizza in there.
Yeah,
right,
like,
right.
come on.
But
Yeah,
well.
I agree. But yeah, man, I guess that's it. You guys got anything else that we missed? I mean, we reviewed it. We gave our
we gave it our all to Home Alone. I
Yeah,
think.
for sure.
I think we gave it our best effort. I want to thank Corey for coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for having
Cory,
me, fellas.
joining
I had
us
a
today.
blast.
Yeah.
I love
this
it.
is awesome.
Hope I
Awesome.
didn't embarrass you on
No,
my
absolutely
podcast
not,
debut.
dude.
Your knowledge is deep on this movie.
Yeah, you'll be back for some movies.
Yeah,
with
I got
the-
a couple more movies
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
can even deeper than this. man.
Nice. We
can
I
see
was
that.
upset I missed the Batman one. That's my
Oh,
go-to. I love
yeah.
Batman.
That sounds like a 3-1 vote there for best Batman. Batman. Just saying.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
Look, hey,
Michael Keaton is my Batman.
They're saying about
it is the best. The best.
That's what I think, Michael Keaton. But
how many Batmans are there? There's like 27 Batmans now, including like all the Lego ones. I don't know how many.
And 89 was number 1.
Who is your Joker? Because I like Ledger, but I love Nicholson too. I feel like it was like Kobe and MJ, like MJ in his prime.
Yeah,
the game
I don't
to a new
think-
level.
You don't think Nicholson was cheesy in that?
No,
Or was he
Nicholson,
meant to
man.
act kind of that
I just
way?
think
or?
he was like the pimp Joker.
See,
Like,
I always thought the first one was just cheesy.
I'm going with Nicholson
I
on
thought it
that
was
one.
cheesy.
Absolutely.
I like Ledger, but I mean, tying it to because I like Michael Keaton, I would say I like that as a whole. But what being that you're younger, I would automatically think that your Christian Bale is my Batman, and
Christian Bale was darker.
He's like,
Yeah,
and I always used to think like maybe I just like Michael Keaton because I'm 14, 15 when that came out. But
I love Michael Keaton.
See, Batman. Dude, you know who surprised me was the dude that played the vampire. Like I was like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was like,
right?
that was a pretty dope movie. I was like, he did all right,
Yeah.
man.
Wait, which one?
The dude that played the vampire, the True Blood. What the hell's that guy's name?
Oh, Northman. Are you talking about True Blood?
No, not True Blood. The dude that played the last Batman.
Oh, you talking
was the
about
vampire. Twilight
Patterson.
kid.
Rob
Ben
Pattinson.
Affleck?
Yeah, Ben
No.
Affleck. Rob Pattinson.
Oh, Rob
Patterson.
Yeah.
He did pretty good in that movie.
Dude, when he
like,
comes out in the beginning and they're like, "Who are you supposed to be?" and he just levels that dude and he's like, "I'm vengeance." I was like, "All right, Twilight."
That's
you
why I
got
gave
it.
Twilight a
You
chance.
got it.
But he did all right. I was surprised by
Yeah.
that, but yeah, he
But
did
Keaton's
okay.
still the
He's
top
no
shelf.
Michael Keaton.
He's no Michael
No.
Keaton. I want you to tell all your friends about me. What are you? I'm Batman.
He was the original Batman was in Flash, which was cool. The
yeah,
Flash movie
yes,
was pretty cool. That surprised me too.
No, I wonder if anybody likes what's his name, Burt. Who's the first?
Tim Burton.
No, man. Burt Ward.
Yeah.
Burt Ward. Yeah.
Oh no, that was Robin. Burt Ward was Robin.
No, who was
Adam West.
Adam West.
That's what it was. Yeah, Adam West.
Those
That's
are
probably
some-
like our dads.
Or
Yeah,
Cesar
that's like
Romero.
our
Caesar Romero's
As the
Joker.
original Joker.
No, he was good though. I did like
He was
that
good.
show.
I'm
The
with
original
this,
Penguin was kind of cool too.
this
Whoever
whole,
played
like,
him.
Meredith.
Burgess Meredith.
Yes.
So look, any of these newer Batman starting with Heath Ledger, you're delving into the psychopathy, like just weird fuckers
Darkness.
with
It's- yeah.
a bad, weird, funky background, man. Just leave it with Nicholson, man. Just like it's a simple character. Just he's a bad guy. He's
a bad
he's a
guy.
gangster dude, fell in Nevada shit, and he came out with white face and green hair.
He
Right.
wanted to turn everybody into
Yeah, he
a
wanted
Joker.
everybody to look like him, so you didn't feel left out.
Yeah, whatever.
I get it.
Oh, there you
I
go.
get it.
Batman 2.0.
Yeah,
The
there you go.
review.
There you go.
Bring me back
There's
for
some
it.
Batman. We'll go through the whole Batman
I love it.
series.
For
I love
sure.
it.
But definitely, Corey, awesome, man. You did great.
Thanks, guys.
Definitely
I appreciate
come
you
back.
having me. It was
Maybe
awesome.
Napoleon Dynamite. I don't know. We were talking about that upstairs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Napoleon would be a good one.
Keep me posted, man.
It might make the
Was it
definition of vintage.
2003?
It would. I looked into it.
All right,
Because
then.
that's a movie I like.
What year was
VHS.
it?
When we do it, we'll bring it
04.
back.
04. Okay.
Sounds
There you
good.
go. It
04.
fits.
For sure. So I guess that's it for now. So we'll catch you where?
On the flip side,
If we don't see you sooner, we'll see you later.
peace.
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 Thanks for listening to The Vintage Cinema Review in the Old Dirty Basement. If you dig our theme music like we do, check out the Tsunami Experiment. Find them on Facebook. Their music is streaming on Spotify and Apple, and where great music is available.
You can find us at Old Dirty Basement on Facebook and Instagram, and at Old Dirty Basement Podcast on TikTok.
Peace.
We Audi 5000.